And we are back. And I'm sorry to steal your line.
No, man, you did your best there. It's part two of the NBA Finals review. The season is over, and now some teams have been doing it since April, but now all the teams can focus on the draft, and get ready for that situation. And free agency and all that stuff's coming up, man. So, man, we got the league is still rolling. We'll have stuff to talk about all summer, but man, we have a special analyst on tonight for part two. We'll dive deep into the Golden State Warriors and things that have come from them winning the championship. So again, Zach, as always, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Sports Brothers.
And we need to get some Pastor Troy or something when you say, are you ready? Maybe we can get him to sponsor us.
Hey man, just hit them up, man. See what they say. You got them. You got them in your Rolodex.
Well, I don't have that, but I can probably find him on IG somewhere.
There you go. Hey man, look, with technology, man, you can find everybody nowadays. But you'll find us on YouTube, Facebook, other social media uh, outlets. But before you do all of that, please do the following.
Yes, please do that.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show. Today is June the 20th, 2022, part two. Zach, how's it going, man?
It's still going good.
All right. Man, let's get into some news and notes, man, before we bring our special analyst on. Man, the NBA, we'll run across one or two things there in the NBA, man. So, in our previous show, we mentioned this gentleman, Malcolm Brogdon. So he's in the news, by the way. So Brogdon, the Pacers are seriously discussing some trades, and not only with him, but also Miles Turner. So they're looking to move their center and their point guard. So we'll
Yeah,
see where that go.
looks
There's a
like
lot of
what, full rebuild for them.
yeah, because Sabonis was out sent out to Golden State last season. So yeah, they're looking like they want to start from the bottom.
Yes. And when you say
All
Golden
right,
State, you mean California to Golden State. I understand.
yeah, there you go. That's right. Oh yeah, Sacramento.
I I got you.
Yep,
That's
appreciate
why you
that.
said Golden State.
Hey
California
man,
is the Golden State.
man, you smooth, man. About smooth as that layup that you had back in the day. All right,
Yeah, herky jerky.
hey man. All right, in other news, this will interest a lot of people that love the team in purple and gold. And then my friend Rodney, well, our friend actually Rodney Williams, you know him from C-Town.
Yes.
He's a huge Bulls fan. He's one of the few Bulls fans that remained a Bull fan after Michael Jordan retired and moved on. But he's an adamant Bulls fan. But Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine, there's a lot of talk, a lot of rumors out there about him wanting to play for the Lakers. Um, so that would be an interesting thing to take a look at because the Lakers are trying to move Westbrook and they're looking to make adjustments so that they make the playoffs next year and ultimately try to make a championship run. So Zach LaVine's name has popped up a lot, but I've also heard that Zach LaVine is going to opt in, which is smart, and sign for that supermax. So man, he does that. We'll have to really see how things go there, but that's the news for today in the NBA.
Sounds good. And I just want to add, if the Lakers somehow get a good trade for Westbrook, Palenka deserves GM of the year as soon as he gets that done because I just don't see how any team would swing that. But if they can do it, give it to him right now. GM of the year.
All right. Well, you know what? It's time to bring our guest on, Zach, and we'll let him just put a tie pretty bow to what we just discussed there about Westbrook Levine, etc. So let's go ahead and bring them on.
All right. How's it going, Rod?
It's going pretty good, man. I hear y'all talking about this Westbrook Zach Levine thing. I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm not delusional. I know that the Bulls probably don't want Westbrook, and that's probably the only thing we'll be willing to part with at the moment for Zach Levine. So, I don't think they want anything else on our roster outside of LeBron. So, I mean, it is what it is. Or maybe Anthony Davis. That's it. But so we can pretty much move off that subject.
Yeah, definitely.
So would you want an AD for Zach Levine?
No, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that.
And I heard today too, Kyrie for AD. Would you want that?
No, I wouldn't want that either.
Okay.
I wouldn't want that either. I don't want Kyrie at all. That's a whole different subject. I don't want him at all. Keep him away. He's a cancer.
Look, I'm glad there's somebody out there that's not delusional about that. I appreciate that. Because all I ever hear about Kyrie is how great and talented he is.
Man, you gotta show up to work. that's it. Basketball is not his number one priority. So,
all right. And if you want to hear more information like this, tune into the Laker locker room, and you'll see the gentleman on the right of your screen there, Rod. You'll see Mr. 411, and you'll see other Laker fans that will be on the show from time to time. You will even see Zach, because Zach, he understands. He knows that a lot of his buddies are Laker fans, and he'll ask a lot of prying questions to try to find out what's going on over there in Lakerland. And but meanwhile, his Miami Heat, I mean, the last couple of seasons been in the NBA Finals twice, so that's good for him.
It's
all
okay.
Right.
They need to get rid of a couple guys.
All right. Well, before we get into this, because there's going to be a lot of punching going on here. Check out Ebutts Jr. Boxing Academy, 3555 Mercer University Drive, Suite 104-1, Macon, Georgia, 31204. Ernest Butts Jr. can be reached at 478-254-5442 or 478-319-1502. Ernest Butts Jr. Boxing Academy. Check him out. He's doing great things in the community. Just recently had his Gloves Not Guns event, and had over 30 boxers in the youth in the community, and they all got championship belts, man. So check them out, man. Nice. Ernest Butts Jr. He's making things happen. You can also go there for your own personal physical training and become good at boxing. So that way, when you get in these sports conversations and it starts getting heated, you can utilize that when you need it. Put the 1-2s on people. They say something. They talk about Kobe. Hit them with the 1-2. All right. All right, guys. Golden State Warriors at Rod. What are the Warriors Dynasty? Where does it rank all time, man?
That's it's not a tough one. I mean, you got Showtime number one. I would say the obviously the Bill Russell Celtics
That's
run.
huge.
I would say the Bird Celtic run. You got obviously the Michael Jordan run. You got the Shaq Kobe run. I mean, it's a lot of dynasties out there. I mean, I don't know where it ranks. I mean, because they're still going. I mean, I don't think this is over with. So to say where their dynasty ranks right now would be kind of premature. But if I had to just guess, I would probably say they somewhere 5th or 6th. I mean, all time right now.
That's pretty good, Rod. You got right in my area for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chime in on it, Zach.
Well, I can't go way back in the day, but Mr. 411 keeps getting on my ass about it. So I got Russell Celtics. They'd be up there as 1. Then Jordan's Bulls, Magic's Lakers. I'm going with the Shaq Kobe Lakers at 4. And I like Duncan and his team at 5. Curry at 6. And then I got Bird at their Celtics at 7, and rounded out with the Pistons, Heat, and then Rockets. I mean, in the big scheme of things, there aren't really a whole bunch of damn dynasties in the NBA. Like like the damn Celtics and the Lakers won a lot of damn championships. So they kill a lot of these other dynasties.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Lakers, Celtics, and everybody else. That's really what it boils down to.
Well, at the end of the day, yeah. And but if you parse out all the different dynasties, this one to this point, you have to put it somewhere in the mix. But I definitely have I have Boston. I mean, whenever you win 11, you know, 11 out of whatever seasons was, what 12, 13 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta go with that one. And then you got obviously Georgia Bulls 6 for 6. That's another great one. When you get that 6 in there, Kobe Shaq Lakers, they're right up there. The three-peat. I mean, it's hard to three-peat,
Yes.
man.
They
So
were very dominant. That's why I put
yeah,
them above Duncan's. Was like
yeah,
that was they were them
Yeah.
dudes.
yeah. It's hard. It's
Like,
look at it. This Warriors organization, as great as it is, no three-peat in there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's hard to get
Right.
that done. You gotta,
Yes.
so I like to put those three-peats up there. And so those
Yeah.
will be my top off the dome. Uh, I did read about the Lakers of the 50s with Mike and
Well, I didn't put them in
so
there 'cause-
they dominated too. And if we're gonna count all 75 seasons, I mean, they did their thing too. But I'm just not gonna put them over the three-peat there with the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. So that's what I have. Just throw in there with you guys, man. But yeah, it's interesting to just to touch on that because you got to give these Warriors their due. Zach, on the part one, you talked about a lot of how it's done by management, you
yes.
know. And Rod, we're gonna go ahead and give you your flowers too. On our preseason NBA show, the 2 hour episode. I thank you
Yeah.
for hanging in there for that long. But you did mention the Warriors. You talked
Yeah.
about them, and you was
Yeah.
like, man, these Warriors are going to get it done, man. And wow, I mean, outside of you saying the Lakers, you said the Warriors, man, were going to be right there, and
Yeah.
it played
Yeah.
out that way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, the Lakers. I don't even want to talk about it. It's disappointing, but but yeah, go to state. They did keep my credibility somewhat intact.
yeah,
They had a phenomenal season, man.
yeah, yeah. Congrats to the Warriors. All right, the player on the Warriors, and this is going to bring up the main event here.
Yes.
All
That's
right.
what I want to get into.
I know you can't wait, man. All
Can't wait.
right. So, does the 2022 championship and finals MVP change where Stephen Curry is ranked all time?
Yes. Yes, it does. It definitely does. I mean, winning matters. Winning is a big part of how I rank my players. I look at not only did you win, I look at how you won, I look at what did you mean to the team, I look at who did you go up against, did you go up against somebody else that's on the list, did you beat them, all of that stuff. And so and I've been looking at various shows, but one in particular that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way was Undisputed. Shannon Sharp done lost his damn mind. Shannon Sharp done straight lost. Listen, Curry's a top 10 player now. Let's just get it out of the way. He's a top 10 player. Okay. He's moved into that list. Okay. But to go and say that he's going to take Shaq off his top 10 list, he's completely lost his damn mind. Can you pull up Shannon Sharp's list for me?
Oh yes, sir. We'll get the producers on there right now for you.
Yeah. Let's please pull his list up. We're gonna break down this foolishness. Okay. First off, he got LeBron number one. I want to you got to make this make sense. Okay. How is LeBron number one, but then you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 3? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's resume blows LeBron's out the water. He's still chasing Kareem now as far as points. Kareem has 6 titles. He has 6 regular season MVPs, 2 finals MVPs, top 3 in rebounding, top 3 in blocks, more all defensive player teams, more all NBA. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So the fact that you got LeBron number 1 and Kareem number 2 is just crazy to me. I mean, that doesn't make sense. Then you got Kobe number 9, which is like, what the hell? Like how is Kobe number 9? And then you got Tim Duncan over him when they play head to head in the playoffs. Tell me if I'm wrong, but Kobe beat Tim Duncan in the playoffs more time than Tim Duncan beat him. So I mean, no, that's wrong. And then everybody notice what's missing here. You notice that Shaq isn't on this damn list.
I see he's not on Shannon's list.
Yeah. Shaq, he took Shaq off and replaced him with Stephen Curry. Listen, Stephen Curry belongs in the top 10. He definitely belongs in the top 10. But at some point or another, you got to use your eyes. You want to know his reason for taking Shaq off?
Please tell me, because I didn't see this one.
His reason for taking Shaq off the top 10 list was because Shaq only has one Finals MVP, which really irks me, because if you guys been following the show, you know how I feel about voted on awards by the media. The media don't know what the hell they talking about. The fact that Shaq only has one is a crime in itself. Shaq should have multiple MVPs. You can't be the most dominant player in the league for 5-6 years and only come away with one MVP. So with that being said,
the only thing with that, Rod, is, and this is an old Laker fan, Shaq would come into the season out of shape.
Doesn't matter.
That was his issue.
That doesn't matter. He still rolling out of bed was averaging 28 and 12. I mean, like, come on, give him his flowers, especially when, listen, let me just say this. Steve Nash has 2. Okay? Joker has 2.
Correct. I wouldn't tell you they better than him. But they put more importance on the regular season. He put more importance on the postseason.
I'm just saying. I mean, even Shaq on his worst day in his prime will make those two guys look like the bums that they are in comparison to him. They're bums compared to Shaq. So the fact
absolutely,
so that's why I say, to take him off. And then on the flip side, most people say that, hey, your name is made and your acclaim is made in the playoffs. Then the playoffs should definitely carry more weight than a regular season award, especially when you're talking about something that's voted on. I've always say leader voting for politicians and figure skaters. When we talk about sports, you got a head-to-head matchup where you can see guys come together and you can tell who's better. There's nobody on planet Earth that'll sit there and say that anybody outside of maybe 5 people in the history of the NBA is better than Shaq because they got, some regular season MVPs. That's that is dumb. I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, I am glad you mentioned postseason should have more importance, because what I'm going to tell you is 3 guys I would look at that are typically in the consensus top 10. Now, I'm probably not putting Curry there yet. He needs to do a little bit more for me. But guys that I would move out of the top 10 to put someone in, because I think Giannis is up next. But I'm going to go Bird, Wilt, and Oscar Robertson. And I don't know why everybody's so scared to say anything about Bird. Why does nobody bring up Bird and his postseason shortcomings?
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
But those would be the 3 guys I would look at. And I know Mr. 411 gonna get on me about Wilt.
Yeah, Wilt's not coming out of the top 10. But
I'm gonna say I like
it's gonna get real interesting.
But I like what Rod said. Postseason, it should have some importance. Like if your numbers are one thing in the regular season, a la James Harden, and then your numbers become something else in the postseason.
Amen.
And everybody wants to put Wilt's shortcoming on Bill Russell. Okay. Amen. But if Bill Russell was the sole reason that Wilt wasn't winning all these championships, then why don't Bill Russell get more love then? Like, it can't go both ways. You can't say you can't say Bill Russell.
Let the church say amen.
Amen, because I agree with that.
Well, I'm just saying we can't say Wilt didn't do this, but Russell was the one keeping him. But then we're gonna put Russell kind of like an 8. It has to go into something. But I'll go ahead and let y'all continue.
Well,
Those
no,
would be
I'm gonna
my
let Rod
prime watch.
continue.
Oh,
Okay.
I want to let Rod continue because he has his graphic up here.
Okay. So we as you can clearly see, Shannon Sharp, I love Uncle Shay Shay, but he really missed it on this list. So let's just get this off the screen. We're gonna bring up Skip. Now Skip list is bad too, but it's not as bad as this one. But we're gonna bring up Skip list. Let's look at Skip's.
well,
It's coming up. It's coming up.
I already know who's number one on his list.
Yeah, you already know. You already know who's number one on his list. And I'm not even gonna try to get into this whole debate about it.
But
I'll just
since
I'll say
we
my
got
2
this up
cents
here
and move
now,
on.
why is Kareem above Magic when Kareem won 5 of his titles with Magic? And you two are the Lakers fans, so y'all tell me who should be higher.
I'll tell you one. Why? Do you know how many Magic got?
Magic has 5.
Do you know how many Kareem got?
Kareem has 6. He won the one with Oscar prior to Magic.
Oh, okay. So that's case closed right there.
Okay. I mean,
and when you just break it down, I mean, outside of assists and I guess steals, I mean, Kareem blows Magic out the water in every statistical category it is. I mean, and I will say that if Kareem had even in his old age, if Kareem had to play one more season, Michael Jordan might be a championship short. I mean, even an old Kareem, when Michael Jordan come down the lane doing that up and under and all that stuff there, man, Kareem would have sent that. He would have tried that on Kareem.
But also,
even at 40.
But I would throw this in for Kareem too, is that the 1970s was his decade. That's the post Russell and Wilt era. Slightly Wilt went another 1 or 2 seasons there in the 70s, but he was pretty much, at on the back 9 on the last 2. So really the 70s belong to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 4 MVPs in that decade, dominant force. And then also, and this is just in particular to the statement about, Magic versus Kareem, out defensively, going to add the defense in there too for Kareem. And so when you mix all that together, and we're splitting hairs on great players, by the way, but Kareem defensively as well. And then also being one of the greatest offensive players in the history of the game. You put those 2 things together, I would have Kareem over Magic Johnson. Personally, I have Kareem over Michael Jordan. So, I'm looking at the totality on both sides of the floor. I'm going with the big there. And by the way, I do have Russell above Jordan as well. So, and I have Wilt above Jordan as well. So, but those just little things.
I'm not even a Jordan fan, but
those are some things that I'm gonna throw in there. That's all. I'm just throwing that little stuff in there, not to stay off course because we're talking about the Shannon list right now. But just for the listeners, so they can they can sit back and enjoy that statement. But carry on, Rod.
Yeah. I want to break down Skip's list real quick. I mean, and then I'm going to give you my list. Okay, so now we got Skip's list. Skip he has Michael Jordan number 1. Now,
3 is a surprise.
Yeah, 3
not surprised.
He has Shaq above Kareem. I'm like, listen, Shaq, my dude. Shaq is not better than Kareem no.
That's laughable.
Well, I'm gonna throw this out there, Rod, and I've told Mr. 411 this a whole bunch of times. If you allowed me to draft, like all-time draft, anybody I could, and you give me number 1 pick, I'd take Shaquille. Like, and this is going off the guys I saw when Shaquille was in his prime, and when he was the guy. From my standpoint, I didn't see anybody that was more dominant. Now he didn't. As I said, the fact that he didn't come in shape and all of that stuff, and he doesn't have all the accolades, you got to take that into account. But just from the talent standpoint and domination standpoint, well, this, he was a beast. What was the one finals when he did 36 and 14 or something?
Yeah, he's a monster. He
was the most dominant physical specimen I've seen in the NBA.
Yeah, and I agree with that. He was all of that, but I'm going with the captain. Going with the captain though.
Yeah,
it's hard to argue with Kareem.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. I like that statement though about in a vacuum. You take a Shaq. I mean, he's a monster.
If he was in his prime, if he was going to be prime Shaq, say for like 10, 12 years, and you got all these guys they prime for 10, 12 years, yes. But
Yeah.
if we going off of, I need him to show up and be in shape and be focused on
Right.
basketball and everything. Now you taking other stuff, because if we're going
Yeah.
off of that, my guy is Kobe. I don't think anybody gave you, like, he squeezed all the juice out of the lemon.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
And that was Skip's point about Kobe. He was like, Kobe gave you his all.
Yes.
And I mean, and looking at his list, it's not as terrible as Shannon's. I mean, it's somewhat respectable. I have most of the people that he has up here. Me personally, I do have Curry in the top 10, and that's gonna bump somebody out. And we're gonna get into who get bumped out once we pull my list up. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and pull up my list. We can go ahead and pull up my list. You see what we have here. But yeah, definitely,
Okay, so no more comments on the skip list. You good?
Well, here's a comment that I have, because I'm looking at Russell at 6, and I never understand about Russell, because in one moment everybody will tell me that winning means everything, and Russell has more championships than everybody, but like, he's at 6, and if he doesn't care about winning, then LeBron shouldn't be behind Larry Bird. LeBron's a better player than Larry Bird. LeBron has won more championships than Larry Bird. He's a better defender. So if you ain't gonna focus on winning, then this thing, like, and even with Wilt, if you don't care about winning, Wilt should be higher.
Exactly.
He should be probably one.
You got to make it make sense. And that's exactly what I did. I came in. I want to make it make sense.
Yeah, and before we get to Rod's top 10, I like the players that Skip have on here. I just, it's just some major shuffling that in my opinion that would need to be done. And but again, that's his list. But I like the 10 players, and I did notice that Oscar Robertson is not in his 10. And when I see this list without Oscar Robertson in the 10, it's kind of hard to argue about taking out guys on this list. The only one based on these 10 players that I would say, maybe, well, it would come down to 2, and that would be Bird and Shaq. If you was going to try to move somebody out of there, in my opinion,
3 championships.
In my opinion,
Oscar Robertson has 1 chip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How does Oscar
but
one?
But hang on a second. I didn't say that's going to put Oscar back in. I'm just saying out of these 2.
I want to say this about Oscar. Russell Westbrook destroyed Oscar's claim to fame. Like, Russell Westbrook came out there and averaged a triple-double. How many times? 3-4 times? So it makes Oscar Robertson averaging his triple-double. It almost makes it like, we seen a guy do it over and over. He did it at will.
Well, the only thing I say to that, though, is that it took 40 years for it to happen, and only one other guy has done it. So I think that helps his case too. But again, with Oscar too, a lot of people that are talking about, the top 10 of all time, a lot of us players and fans and media writers, it's just it's nature. You can't help when you were born. So a lot of it is tough to really, accept it or take it, because we didn't get to see it. And a lot of it's not on YouTube to go back and just watch the whole game. So somebody who's 17, 18 years old now, you can go to YouTube and actually watch pretty much all the games in the 80s. That's 30, 40 years ago. You can watch all the 90s. You can watch it. But it's hard to get enough footage from the 60s and to get that golden era. So a lot of that has to come into play too.
That part might be true, but the one thing that don't change for any of these leagues, they played a championship, and you had an opportunity to win a championship. And I don't see George Mikan on any of these lists. I think he's got 5 championships. So they kind of put him out. I got that. So these guys played in the quote unquote whatever the modern era would be. And Wilt has 2, and Oscar Robertson has 1. And somebody has to make that, like, we hold the guys today. Like, the reason why Kobe and all these other guys are in there is because they have championships. Duncan 5. Like, here's the other thing about the top 10 that doesn't go in. Like, a lot of these guys weren't on the top 10. Like, these guys became the top 10 while we've been alive. Like Jordan. I guess if you want to go Magic, Bird, Kobe. Like, so for these old guys to have been so great, it's a whole bunch of guys that in our lifetime found a way into the top 10, and they have a multitude of championships. So why is it that Oscar didn't win more? And he played with Kareem. Like, so it ain't like he didn't play with nobody.
Well, hold on there. He played with Kareem at the end. So he didn't play with him in his prime, or early age, like Magic. So he didn't have a Kareem with him at that time.
So he's
throughout
Chris Paul?
Well, hold on a second. Throughout his journey, he did not have a Kareem or any other player that you want to name back in those days. He teamed with Kareem at the end. So yeah, but you got to also look at it. We're still, if you want to say championships again, then we need to put Russell at the very top. Without even having a conversation about that. So we also are, we're trying to do something that pretty much is impossible, to be honest with you, but it's fun. We're putting players together.
It's possible.
We're ranking players, and we're ranking players, and we haven't.
Why these guys ain't winning?
But we haven't seen all of them. So
yes, but it's still a reason why they didn't win. Like Tatum this year. There's a reason why Tatum
but you saw it
this year. Well,
you saw it.
What I'm saying, somebody 20, 30, 40 years from now, they may not know whatever, but we can know the reason. There's a reason why he didn't win. There's a reason why Wilt played with some damn good players with the Lakers. Why he didn't win more championships?
Jerry West, Elgin Baylor,
Dale Goodwich.
Yeah.
Why he didn't win more?
But did you mention that Elgin Baylor retired? So what I'm saying,
he got to play with him.
Right, he didn't play with the Lakers his entire career, right? He played with the Warriors.
Didn't he play like 2-3 seasons with Baylor?
He played with the Warriors. He also played with the 76ers. He played with the Lakers at the end. So again, that's all I'm saying is we can take something out of it, but we don't have enough of the totality. All I'm saying is we have to it's damn near impossible to figure it all out, but it's fun to do this. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, here's one that we did see. Why Bird didn't win more?
Well, Rod, he's got his list, so we're gonna get into that.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we're going to Rod's list?
Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's break this down.
All right. Rod's all-time top 10, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, as you can see, number one, we got the cap, Kareem. Okay, number one all-time in scoring currently. We know LeBron's chasing. In my opinion, he's a top 5 defensive player. He's number one all time, and I mean, I'm not number one. He's top 3 all time in blocks. He's top 3 all time in rebounding. Multiple MVPs. I think it's 6 Finals MVPs. I mean, you name it. Dominated college, dominated high school. In my opinion, he's the greatest player of all time. Number 2, we come into his airness. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He's speaks for itself. 6 championships, 6 Finals MVPs, multiple scoring titles. I mean, relentless player, great defensive player. I mean, defensive player of the year. You name it, Michael Jordan's done it. Great player. Number 3, we got Bill Russell. I mean, we just talked about. Well, you want to talk about the winning. The only reason why I don't have Bill Russell number 1 is because the 2 above him they just have such staggering stats, and I think 6 titles is enough to be comparable with the 10 or the 11 he had.
You don't like defense, understand?
Yeah, no, I like defense. No. What I'm saying is this right here. Because Kareem was a defender, Michael Jordan was a defender. Now, don't get it twisted. Those guys both were great defenders. But, if we're talking about the modern era versus, pre-modern era, I think 6 titles is kind of comparable to the 11 championships when you're looking at what you had, like 8 teams back then versus the, 28 to 32 plus. So, I mean, I think that has to come into play when you just can't just count the championships one for one.
You about to get Mr. 411 fired up about the 8 teams.
Okay. Then we got the Magic Man. I went back and forth between him and Kobe Bryant. I could have put Kobe 4. I could have put Magic 5. Either way, but I went with the Magic Man. Mainly because he has more Finals MVPs, more regular season MVPs. Although I feel about the voted on awards, but I'm splitting hairs, so I'm gonna go ahead and give the edge to Magic there. Then we're gonna go on to the 10-man Tim Duncan. The reason why I put Kobe over Tim Duncan, I kind of hinted at it earlier. Kobe beat Tim Duncan more times in the playoffs than Tim Duncan beat him. So I'm going with Kobe beating Bryant over him. I think Kobe had a bigger impact on the league. Nobody ever says the big fundamental mentality. They say the mumble mentality. So we're gonna go with Kobe being there. Now, for the same reason that I just alluded to about Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan being head-to-head, that's why I got Steph Curry at number 7. Steph Curry has dominated LeBron James. We talking 3 to 1. 3 to 1. It's 3 to 1. 3 to 1. 3 to 1. He's dominated him.
He is one in the finals, but I know this: without KD is 1-1. And if we go to history, who's the only team to lose a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals? It's Steph Curry.
After he lost his center, they suspended Draymond Green. A whole lot of foolery went on. Lot of foolery went on to make it happen. But my point being is this right here. At the end of the day, and then we're gonna talk about the whole KD thing, because I mean, what would LeBron's legacy be if he didn't run to Miami and team up with Wade and team up with Bosh and plot years in advance? You in the Olympics, you're supposed to be getting a gold medal. You end up with a bronze because you're too busy recruiting instead of playing. So you over there recruiting to get guys to come down. You want to join up the whole banana boat thing and all that. So hey, I'm not gonna dock Curry for recruiting.
I didn't say dock. I'm just saying the 3-1, the 3-1 head to head is kind of unfair. But I'm listening. I get it.
Hey, I'm
already gonna give you the one egregious error on your list anyway. In a second.
Okay. Well, let's keep going. So we're gonna go to LeBron to number 8. I just stated why I have him at number 8 and not at least 7. And the same reason why I don't have him at 6. Tim Duncan, head-to-head matchup. Tim Duncan has dominated him. Tim Duncan, it is a 2-1 record. So Tim Duncan beat the man. That's what I love about sports. You can argue all day about stats, but hey, we are both on the court. I'm holding the trophy. You're not. More time than you. So at the end of the day, Tim Duncan and Steph Curry goes over that guy. And then we're gonna roll on to the next one. Larry Bird. Now, Zach, we've been talking all day about, hey, everybody just holds Larry Bird in this high esteem, and I think Larry Bird's a phenomenal player. That's why he's still in the top 10 list. But hey, you lost a lot too in the finals.
To his main rival. You want to go head to head. What's his record against Magic? He's 1-2. That's his number one rival.
Yeah.
And Magic played in 9 finals. Bird played in 5. Why did Bird play in only 5 finals?
Exactly. I mean, you really think the record's worse than that because Magic beat him in college too. So, I mean,
is that why?
So, yes.
So that's why Magic is ranked higher than Bird. Rod? Okay.
Absolutely.
That should be without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and 5 is more than 3 as well. And then when you get down here, actually, you know what, man? You got the wrong list. I just realized that. I sent you 2. You got the wrong list. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Wilt's not supposed to be here. You thought you were slick. Wilt's not supposed to be there.
Because I was about to ask about one guy that I just talked about and why he ain't on there.
No, he's there. I know who you're talking about. I just realized. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Where is that one?
Man, we running on regular fuel. We need some diesel. Where the diesel fuel at, man? We got to get the diesel fuel. This truck ain't moving right. He don't froze up over there trying to slip Wilt in.
Hey man, I only use what the producer sent me. But let's double check that. Let's see what else we got here.
Double check it, please.
Because
all right, we'll double check it.
It's when I see Steph Curry over there and not Shaquille.
Oh yeah, I mean, we opened the show up talking about how egregious that was. So I know better than that. Come on. You almost slipped one by me, man. There we go.
Okay, yes, I like this list a little bit better now.
I know.
It looks more organized.
No, it does.
There we go. There
I
we go.
like number 9 though, but carry on.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we fixed that, I've already discussed Larry Bird. Shaq is where he's supposed to be. Again, Shaq beat Tim Duncan more times than he beat him. Shaq, Shaq by my eye test, just clearly he dominated Duncan so many times. I mean, even when he had David Robinson, I mean, they had to come up with Hacker Shaq, the most cheap punk move in the history of basketball to stop the man. So I mean, he clearly Shaq is a bigger battle force than Tim Duncan. So that's why I got him over him. And again, to show you that I'm not just a stats guy. Wilt Chamberlain has ridiculous stats. We just talking stats. Wilt would be number 1. But winning matters. In the words of Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. And Wilt lost too much for me. I mean, you play the same guy 12 years straight, basically, and he beat you 10 times out of 12. That's dominance. That's why I got Bill Russell so high and Wilt so low. Because with all your stats, with all your might, which shows me that you have the ability to do more, you didn't on the biggest stage. You got beat over and over and over again. And so that's why I had to go ahead and knock Wilt off this list. And it's something that Jerry West said. I don't know if he actually said it, but I don't know if you watched the show on Winning Time. But the character Jerry West, he said 13 points separated him from being a 5-time champ. And it was because Wilt was a nice guy. And Wilt would go out and hang out with Bill Russell. Him and Bill Russell were friends, and Bill Russell would get in his head and buddy with him. And he didn't go at him the way he should have went at it. And it cost Jerry West multiple championships. And in my opinion, stop Wilt Chamberlain from possibly being the greatest player of all time, because you got to win on the biggest stage.
And that was the Dr. J episode.
Yeah.
If you put his list back up real quick, the only thing I would say, Rod, is I'd pull Curry down, only because I like the 4 championships, but Curry is a one-way player. Like, in no way, shape, or form can you say he's a defensive player.
No, yeah.
And I think all of those guys on there, even Bird, made some All-NBA defensive teams. But Curry has an opportunity to add to that. But you know what? I can't really. I like your reasoning for everything on the list. Like, now, I'm always gonna have Shaq ahead of Kobe, because Shaq was doing that three-peat, was the most dominant guy. But I can understand why Kobe's ahead of Shaq. I get everything. And while I don't agree with your Curry over LeBron argument, it makes sense. So that's not a bad list. I can live with it. Now, it's hard for me, knowing all the Wilt numbers, to have Curry in there. But I think the big issue with Curry is Curry just don't look physically dominating. So when you look at him, and then I look at a guy like Shaq, or I look at a guy like Wilt, or even LeBron, you look at them, you like, these guys can physically dominate. But Curry dominates you with his 3, which is a haymaker. And it is so it's kind of upside your head.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, that 3-point shot is the great equalizer.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, you find you come down and you dunk the ball real hard 2 times, and he come down and he shoot 2 times. Well, you might have had the crowd going ooh and ah, but you're down by 2.
So that's not a bad list. I got to kind of look at everything to take into account. But like I said, Bird, Wilt, and Oscar definitely.
And I want to say this too about the Steph Curry, LeBron James thing. Steph Curry changed the game. All jokes aside, I mean, LeBron, I would say he changed the game to me in a bad way, where you have these players just running around, stacking teams and plotting to get together. But Curry, he never ran. He never ran from his situations. They went through the tough time. They had the worst record in the league 2 seasons ago. I mean, and he didn't demand that you trade all the young players and go get me a veteran. And he didn't do any of that. He just kept balling. He kept playing. He worked with the young guys. Versus LeBron, LeBron will be squatted up right now if he simply just went out there and hooped. You would have Brandon Ingram. You would have Lonzo Ball. You would have Julius. You would be squatted up right now, ready to make a run. We could have been in the finals right now if LeBron took Steph Curry's approach and simply played with your players and really elevated them versus getting them shipped out. So I mean, I look at that too. And then I mean, now I see kids. The first thing they do when they get on the court, they shooting threes. They trying to he revolutionized the game.
Yes.
And so I mean, I'm looking at his impact, and like I say, I mean. I hear you. They picked up Kevin Durant, but at the same time, I mean, a head-to-head matchup is a head-to-head matchup.
I'm not. You've been to the record and picked teams before. It is and it ain't.
Hey, I mean, but we can say.
We didn't say that in Miami though.
Yeah, I would give you that if we didn't see LeBron do the same thing in Miami. Dwayne Wade was a 30-point a game player when LeBron went down there to Miami.
He was.
So
Bosh was 22 and 10.
Yeah, Bosh 22 and 10. I mean, then you had Rashard Lewis, you had Mike Miller, you had Shane. I mean, you had a squad, and okay, so you kind of opened the door for that to happen. I don't think Durant would have ever went to Golden State if he didn't see LeBron kick his behind in the finals with that stacked squad. So KD was like, okay, well, if it's cool for the guy y'all call the chosen one, why can't I come over and go to the 73-man team and get some love?
I have no problem with him going. I'm just saying to say the head-to-head was even is like the head-to-head wasn't even, but
it was close enough. Because I mean, it's not always even. It's not even the other way around too. When you have LeBron and you have Wade and Bosh, that's not even.
Did Curry play against LeBron, Wade, and Bosh? We talking about head-to-head.
But we talk about
Rod is talking about head-to-head. He ain't talking about outside of head-to-head. He's talking about their head-to-head matchup.
Well, LeBron. Well, let's do this real quick.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Rod, but do this. Do your other thing too. Match them up, player for player for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Okay, so we can say that LeBron went and got Kyrie because he went to Cleveland, so he went and got Kyrie. Okay. So Kyrie and Curry will be the matchup. You know, that's just the way it makes sense basketball wise. So Curry's like, okay, well, you got your little guy. Let me go get a guy your size. He went and got KD. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. So then you got Kevin Love. Okay, Kevin Love. That's your spacer, your floor, your shooter. Okay. Curry already had Clay. Boom. Okay. So both guys going. Kevin Love, when healthy, is going to give you about 18 to 20. Klay Thompson, when healthy, going to give you about 18 to 20. So, I mean, the matchup is more even than you think.
Keep going, because you didn't mention Draymond.
Draymond's going to give you the same production as Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson might give you better.
Now we're being disingenuous. Draymond has a higher IQ, and he's a defensive player of the year.
But you acting like it's Kobe. But you acting like it's Jordan against Scott Skiles or something.
Dennis Rodman ain't gonna score.
But wait a minute, you're making it sound like it's Kobe Michael Jordan against Scott Skiles.
Y'all are trying to minimize what a guy Dennis Rodman ain't gonna score more points than certain people, but Dennis Rodman is a better player than other guys because he's a better player. So to put Tristan Thompson and Draymond, like Tristan Thompson, I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. So stop it. Tristan Thompson ain't made no All NBA team.
Now you just
anything.
But see how you doing this. But again, we can go back. We can go back.
Tell me the accolades.
Hold on. We can go back to other. You acting like it's a Grand Canyon gap, and that's not the case.
Tell me the accolades. One guy's an All NBA guy, and the other guy's not. That's a Grand Canyon.
Okay, go back to the matchup, Zach. Go back to the matchup when they played.
Yeah. Let's talk about it though. Okay. So Tristan Thompson, he was giving you 10 points and 10 boards. I mean, that's
you tell me all the time you ain't a stats guy, and now you read me stats. Here goes a stat for you. Golden State lost.
Well, wait, time out. No, you're not going to do that, Zach. You're not going to let him finish his statement, then come back.
Well, he tells me all the time he ain't a stats guy.
So you trying to overtalk? You over talking the 10 and 10 now.
Rod know them stats don't matter. Them stats
now it don't matter. See, now it doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead. Finish. And then Rod, then Zach gets the rebuttal. Then Zach
Okay.
gets the rebuttal.
Okay. Let me go to where's Draymond at? Hold on, let me pull him up. Where's Draymond? Draymond, 11-10. I mean, 10-10, 11-10. That's a wash.
And you got LeBron on one side and KD on the other side. It's not like, I mean, what more do you have to have? Either one of them. What more do either one of them have to have?
I mean, to me, I think what made Golden State scary was they fit together better, and Cleveland was running a very rudimentary offense where it was LeBron, you take a turn, Kyrie, you take a turn, and Golden State was moving that ball, player movement, ball movement. And it just was fluid, and LeBron them coming out of taking turns, taking shots, and it just wasn't gonna. It looked more lopsided than what it really was. I think if you were to give Cleveland a real I know for real. I think if you were to give Cleveland Eric Spoelstra or somebody with a motion offense, that really had a better offensive mind, I think you would have saw a better series.
You had 2 MVPs against 1 MVP, because you can say what you want about Kyrie Irving. He ain't ever won an MVP in the league. Ain't nobody ever thought he was the best player. Curry was, at least at one time, considered to be one of the best players in the league.
So are we going to do this for Will? Are we going to do this for Will too, Zach?
Well, hold on.
For Will?
Are we going to do this too?
I mean,
that goes back to my point of saying that you we're talking about something that we all have really been able to see and analyze versus things that you not truly have been able to analyze.
I want to say something about this.
So that's all I'm saying about that part of it. But carry on.
But this Kyrie thing, many of people have said close to that finals, Kyrie outplayed Steph Curry. Okay, the first time they played, Kyrie I would agree, Kyrie outplayed Steph. Okay, many people were saying Kyrie might be a little bit better than Steph. Okay,
that's because people like Kyrie. For whatever reason.
No, Kyrie self-sabotage. Talent, let's just talk talent. Talent-wise, Steph's a better shooter. Kyrie's a better ball handler and finisher at the rim.
And we down to 6 minutes, gentlemen.
So they're neck and neck as far as talent. The difference is Curry's more dedicated to the game. Kyrie mind is elsewhere.
Okay.
That's the difference.
That's who LeBron going out there playing with.
No. But if Kyrie's locked in, Kyrie can be and elevate and be just as good.
Well, my God. Did Kyrie score 40 points in the finals? And LeBron was on the same team?
Like I say.
Oh, okay. So he got talent. He had help, man. We got to keep going. We down to 6 minutes.
We can discuss this at a different time.
Oh yeah, definitely, because this is the emphasis on Rod's list, and and I like what you're bringing back. What we all bringing back into the conversation.
But as I said, I like the list. I just I'll have to see who, but I still think Bird gets a little bit too much credit.
And I want y'all to read that slowly right there for me.
Okay, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 30 points, 28 rebounds, 3.8 assists in 94 games versus Bill Russell in his career. Okay,
that's good. What's the win-loss record?
Well, hold on. So to say that, like he
put up Bill Russell number though.
Well, we already know his numbers.
I'm just saying. Bill. I mean, because Bill was pulling boards. Bill had more assists.
They were getting similar boards. They were definitely getting similar boards, and Russell was getting about 17 to 19 points because that's the style that he chose to play. And we get all that. All I'm saying is let's not diminish somebody that scored 30 and 28.
Well, we're not diminishing him. And I would say this: what was the 30 like? Did Russell foul out of them games? Because you love to say that the way a dude play, you get a guy in foul trouble, and you get him on the bench.
We're gonna on the bench. We got more time, but we got more time on that. I just want to share that stat because that's staggering. No matter how you slice it, that was staggering. And Russell did not just let him get those numbers.
I love Jerry West. I love Jerry West because Jerry West tell you what's going on. You want to know what he used to say? He said Wilt Chamberlain would get the rebound and hold it and make the guard come all the way back down and get the ball. So that way he can get down the court and make sure he got the ball.
Right. And he did do that at that stage of his career. But there's another time out. There's another stage. Hold on a second, Rod. You made that statement. But there's another stage in his career, and we'll put the highlights on the social media page that Wilt Chamberlain pushed the ball up the floor, not only with the pass, but also with his own dribble. So there's two stages of Wilt too that we're overlooking over his entire career.
But I'm
But
not
that,
overlooking it.
yeah, because we're not mentioning that he ran the 40.
And
We're not mentioning that he ran the 40 as fast as LeBron James.
And all of that is good. But the one thing that ain't gonna change, no matter what you do with his stats, he has 2 championships. Like, you can do all you want with all of his stats.
Right.
Somehow, for however great he was, 2 titles.
Right. So okay.
And the biggest thing too, I want to say, he had a size advantage. He had an athleticism advantage over.
Time out. We run out of time, but we're gonna hold on. No, I'm saying we're running out of time. We're gonna dig all into that. I like this because that's something that I clear up on another episode.
Okay.
Because because there's physical stats that show you that that's not the case. But we'll finish that on another time.
Wasn't Wilkes?
He wasn't bigger than everybody?
Well, like I said, we'll finish that on another time.
He was bigger than Bill Russell.
Like I said, we'll finish that on another time.
Okay.
For real. But I want to make sure though, Rod, that we make sure your list is up here and that everybody see it. So in summary, number 10, Larry Bird. Number 9, LeBron James. Number 8, Stephen Curry. Number 7, Tim Duncan. Number 6, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 5, another Laker, Kobe Bryant. Number 4, another Laker, Magic Johnson. Number 3, Bill Russell. Number 2, Michael Jordan. And number 1, which I will say that I agree with totally, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, another great Laker. So yeah, your list is awesome, man. By the way, I like the way you explained it. Yeah, it's tough to pull names out of that list. So it sparks a lot of good conversation. And I'd rather your list be posted on Fox and NBC and ESPN, all those channels, versus some lists I've been seeing over the last couple seasons. So it's an awesome
LeBron can't
list.
be one. Like, no matter what list you do, LeBron has more work to do to be one. So anything with LeBron at number 1 probably discredits the list.
The biggest thing, please don't leave out how he did it. Okay, the running around, the begging, and doing all this manipulation.
I'm not gonna go into that. That shouldn't matter.
I'm just saying.
Hey, if you keep sweating,
those other guys ain't do all that manipulation.
Hey, if you keep sweating to get the woman, as long as you get the woman, that's fine.
I'm just saying, like right now.
Sweated it.
Yes. If you keep sweating, you keep sweating.
I'm just saying, this season alone, he's flirted with 2 teams.
Yes.
They're on their way to the finals. Tyson, I really like to play for Golden State. Maybe Miami. I'm like, dude, really? Stop being thirsty.
Hey, I ain't mad.
Mud, baby.
Hey, I ain't mad at him. And if he could get if he could get to Golden State, that'd be a good move. That way, Curry doesn't get more titles than him.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys. Look, man, it's been a pleasure. It's just like what you said, Rod, in the pre-game meeting, that it was going to be very interesting. It's going to be a lot of talk, spark a lot of debate. Again, excellent list, man.
It really is. Like I said, I like the explanation maybe more than the list, that you have some credible thoughts behind it. Yeah,
and at the end of the day, it's your list, and Zach's going to have his list, because there's an upcoming episode next Monday where Rod, you may need to come on out and get back on here, because Zach's going to display his list.
Well, we were going to talk about who comes out of the top 10.
Yeah, so we'll see that. That's going to be next week, but I definitely appreciate you being on.
I think I know who he's taking out.
Uh-oh. And we thank everybody for watching and listening. Rod, we appreciate you being on and bringing the knowledge. Zach, as always, you know how we do it.
It's good fun.
And so for Zach, for Rod, for Mr. 411, this is Sports Brothers. We'll catch you soon.
Have a good one.
Wow.
Peace.